This video is brought to you by Letsynthesize Academy, the #1 place for practice-oriented courses for serious music producers.
Hey, Dan Larson here, welcome to the newest Synthesize Sunday episode, and today I want to show you one of my favorite rags that I made, and that is a superfilter rag that creates very heavy filtering, especially on your heavy basses. And it sounds crazy good. Let me show it to you. So if you are interested in this rag and the sound, you can download it from my Patreon, but right now let me show it to you and let me explain what it does and why it's cool. Okay, so once again, this is the sound that I'm after with this rag. Now, to compare the sound of this filter, I included a regular auto filter in this rag that you can choose with the switch knob. So if I'm pulling it down, you can choose the regular Ableton auto filter. So this is the sound of it now. So I would say it's not very heavy. So what's the point of this rag? Basically, when I make basses and I design basses, especially heavy basses, I want to have very heavily filtered sound if I low pass it, of course. But the regular auto filter still lets through some higher frequencies, and the pace of the movement is I would say it's not very good for me, or at least not very fast for me. And when I'm on the lower register of the low pass filter, I still find the low end, I would say, very weak. So this is why I created this super filter. You know, you just drop it on your basses and you can start filtering. It's just awesome. It creates, as you heard, it creates very nice result. But right now, let's jump into it and let's see what it contains. So as you can see, we have a regular cutoff, resonance, a switch where you can switch a regular filter and a super filter. Here you can switch a filter type, and I included some gates where you can turn it on and off. So let's open it and let's see what's inside. So I have the regular auto filter and the super filter rag, so I can use this knob to switch between them. But that is not important. The more important thing is this rag. So let me open it. And as you can see, I'm using 7 instances of the same auto filter. I'm using only 12 decibel roll-off rate filter because this can create less resonant kind of sound. After that, I have a gate because, you know, these filters and the Serum can create huge noises, so it's important to kill those. And an OTT. Now with the OTT, I cranked up the time and tweaked the output knobs to maintain the original character of the sound. So I didn't want to transform the sound too much. I just want to have a very heavy compression on the sound. Another gate comes after the OTT because we are still having some huge noise. You know that the OTT boosts, and a glue compressor. And an EQ8 because all these effects basically changes the sound a little, so I just wanted to maintain the original sound, you know, when I don't filter it heavily with the low pass filter cutoff. So this is the rag that I love to use on heavy basses, especially if I want to low pass filter stuff, but you can switch between different filter types if you want, especially the band pass filter can be very handy. Now the fun thing comes when I tweak the resonance, so this can be very crazy. And you can create huge self-oscillation if you really go crazy with the resonance. This can be cool for effects or growls because it can create very nice vowel, some articulation kind of sound. And now let me show you this bass sound because I think it sounds so cool. It's a very simple bass and you can download it from my Patreon. You can find the link down below. It's a custom waveform on the oscillator A that is made by my friend Camille. And another wavetable that is basically not very important because without that it sounds almost the same. Now band reject filter is my favorite filter type because it can create very nice vowels. And for Neuro basses, it's a very good filter type. I also added an atmospheric noise, but again, it is not very important. And the sub. And on the FX, regular stuff, but the distortion can be important. Phaser, a distortion comb filter that is again very good for Neuro basses. An OTT like always. chorus, and an EQ to boost the lows and the highs basically. I tweak only the wavetable position with this very unregular shape, and I have LFO2 that basically creates the movement. So I'm tweaking the warp on oscillator A, the cutoff, the width of the band reject, and some other effect parameters like the phaser, the filters, cutoff, resonance, etc., and some chorus stuff. And this is all, it's very simple thing because I'm using only one wavetable and some nice filter movement basically. So this is it. But with the filter, the super filter, I don't know, it just sounds crazy good. I love it. And it is so different if you don't use a super filter, only a regular filter. If you dig this track and this preset, you can download it from my Patreon. I was Dan Larson. See you guys next time. Peace.